those older English teams, there was no creativity, no improvisation when your back was against it and you needed somebody to take over and you needed something to happen. What did you see? You just saw the same tactical football. Move it around, thump it up.
Yeah, long ball,
move it around, thump it up.
Yeah.
You get it to the wing and run it down and try and cross it. There was nothing, right? You as much flack as we give Neymar, at least he's going to try stuff. Granted, I've never really seen him take over a game that wasn't against, Saudi B players or bottom League player teams. You know what I mean, right? Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But as much flack as we give Neymar, at least he's going to try something. Name me an English player back then that was going to try something, and that's why you had guys like Lampard and Gerrard and, whoever else was on that team that they were utter failures there. They did nothing with that generation because they just, I think they almost became German in thinking, but not in the tactical sense. It was German in that they were so rigid of like, well, I have to do this because this and this. You know what I'm saying? There was no passion or beauty behind the game. And I would never want to take away from the courage or the passion of an actual professional player, but you just saw it in their play.
Yeah, and can we maybe tie this into just another little bit of a topic?
What?
You think about anybody playing for an English Premier League team, and for some strange reason, I'll use Man United as an example. You try something cheeky or fancy in a Man U game, who's giving you the hairdryer treatment?
You talking back when Fergie was there?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Even if you're an outside player going into an English coaches, you could probably even put Brian Clough, you could put a bunch of other ones in that mix. They wanted English football. They would not accept anything else.
You're wrong on Brian Clough. I read about Brian Clough because I love him. He always said he wasn't about tactics, but he kind of was, and his only tactic was
thump and chase.
No, it was
put the ball in the other end.
It was get it. So maybe it was a little bit of English football, but there was still he was a big believer in playing soccer beautifully with a smile on your face. But really, when it came down to it at the end of honestly, legit, he's quoted as saying that at the end of the day, his philosophy, even though he says he didn't have one, was out wide, down the wing, cut it and cross. Which is a little different than English football, but anyway, sorry. I won't have you knocking Brian Clough.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry, I cut you off. Yeah. I cut you off. What were you saying?
No, but all I'm saying is like we're talking about cultural football. We're talking about coaches. English players only stay in England and they only listen to English coaches. They then go to the national team for 1 month, 2 months. Then they get yelled at by their English coach and they get yelled at by their English national coach. There's no creativity, like you said. There's no ability. There was no ability.
In the old days.
100%. They're getting better at it. But you look at, we're going to mention the absolute main man again, Carlo Ancelotti. That guy goes into a team and just says, what makes you happy today? Playing football? Okay, just go and play football.
It's a brilliant way of coaching, and he's the only one that could do it. He's the only one that can do it. There's nobody else that'd be able to go in there and get the same results that he does doing it that way. They'd be fired on the spot because the guy commands so much respect, and obviously he's like, yeah, I was an okay player. I played for the national team, sure, but you know better more than I do. I don't have to teach Nesta and Maldini how to play defense. I don't have to teach Ronaldo and Bale how to score goals, right? Or how to beat a guy one-on-one, or how to tell Modric and Cruz to develop the play in the midfield and build out, right? Yep. Like, you're right. It's just, what do you need me to do to help you?
When again, like we were talking about, I think that's just the difference between all the national programs. All the other national programs, like the Dutch national program, give them credit. The coaches set up the strategy works. It's a great strategy.
But never won a World Cup?
They never won a World Cup. England won a World Cup between World War II, when Italy just was, dusting people.
1966 was a while after World War II.
I know. And I'm just being an ass. But then there was a long time period where the Brazilians and the South Americans weren't as good. England ended up in that perfect spot where they could win a tournament. They haven't won since because their coaches are so strict. You play this, you play this, you play this. Again,
Even
that's
and it
old
goes
school.
up. It goes up to the top. Sorry to cut you off, but I was just going to say that because that's a good point. It goes up to the top with the FA because they find like these Fabio Capello. No, Fabio Capella. Sorry, excuse me. There's a blunder.
Penalty!
When he was the
Red
coach
card.
when he was the coach of the England national squad, there's all the stories about him being just as strict as the English coaches, and he took away ketchup or something, right? Like, when it's down to the micromanaging of and the point where the guys were saying, well, I can eat this at the club that I play for. Why are you right?
We're back to a great point. English football has been built around alcoholism and partying.
Cigarettes and tea at halftime.
You talk about Wayne Rooney. That guy, like,
He's younger than Ronaldo, and look at him.
Look at him. I think all of this links in perfectly. Fabio Capello came from a different country. That one that's shaped as a boot. Remind me the name.
North
They
Macedonia.
but got beat by North Macedonia.
Oh, Albania.
Yeah, Italy. Got it. Thank you. But he came in and tried to set up a different perspective. Sven-Erik Gorkson, you cannot make a Scandinavian change your entire FA. Capella, my apologies too.
Capello.
Capello, did I do it? Cut this.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Capello.
he came in and Pep Guardiola cancels ketchup just with Man City right now.
Did he really?
Did it too soon because English football was still in party culture.
Yeah, that's true. He would look at the guys, and they were all twats. That whole golden generation was a bunch of twats.
100%.
I
but
translated
also,
for the English fans.